Good morning. So glad you're choosing to watch 3+U as you kick off your work week. Always nice to see you as part of the show. For all of you homeowners out there who this time of year are eager to get out and work in the yard, get the springtime feel inside and outside of your home. You know, those springtime rains can also bring a little bit of nail biting, especially if you have a crawl space that you've not been attending to. So it's the perfect time for us to kick things off with Doug Landry. He is here from AFS and probably a very, very busy man this time of year.
Yes, very busy.
I told you that y'all were out at my house just the other day. So I have a world of questions that I can ask. But am I right that because so many houses in the Tennessee Valley do have crawl spaces and not basements, it makes your services even more valuable for people?
Absolutely. We have a lot more crawl spaces in this area than basements, so we do run into basement houses. Obviously, there's still some out there, and waterproofing is important for both crawl spaces and basement houses.
So waterproofing, that can mean a lot of different things to different people, and there are, I guess, multiple ways to skin a cat.
Absolutely.
But what y'all do is you kind of see what's best for the homeowner. You don't have to come in and do the grand fix for everybody. You can meet them where their budget is.
Absolutely. We want to get their house healthy and safe for them, but we also want to work within their budget. It can be multiple things that are needing to be done for the home. However, we will start with the basic project we need to get going. And waterproofing is usually your first project that you want to do. Get the liquid water out of the crawl space or the basement. Make sure that there's no water vapor also working its way into the home. So,
we're just coming off this crazy set of rain that we had a few days ago. I think a lot of places still have some squishy yards maybe because of it. Do you have to have that level of rain, Doug, to have problems with water in your basement, or does any amount of water create damage over time?
So any amount of water will create damage over time. Matter of fact, we see it where you have these extensive rains like we've had, then you have just the normal seasonal rain that we go through during the summer would start drying out, and even the lack of rain itself will start to cause problems as well. So we're never immune to the problems that happen to a home. It's all year round.
Okay, so you've got all the options in your head. Let's kind of get it over to our viewers. You talk about water vapor and what you would do with that, and I think that's where you said the encapsulation.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, what does that involve?
So what we want to do in a crawl space is whenever we want to get rid of the water vapor or the moisture in the crawl space, we want to basically seal the house off from the earth completely. We don't want to have any earth environment coming in, so we're going to seal the vents off. We would seal off the ground itself, wrap up the walls, wrap up the columns, and then install an air system as well to make sure that air is controlled and constantly dehumidified. Okay,
so maybe this is a dumb question, but depending on where your house is, whether it's new construction or an old home, are you saying that there can be kind of underground water that is going to affect your house whether you know it or not?
Correct. Yeah, so it's not necessarily the liquid water that's always affecting the house. Liquid water is bad. You don't want liquid water in your crawl space or your basement. However, in a crawl space situation, the home takes up such a big footprint on the ground and is exposing so much ground that it actually will allow water vapor to seep up into the wood itself.
Do sump pumps get a bad name? Do people have the wrong idea of what a sump pump actually is?
Yes, a lot of people believe that a sump pump is basically a pump in a 5-gallon bucket, and that's not what we do. We put a pump in a larger basin. We have multiple pumps that we can put in there for multiple protection levels. We actually even have a battery backup that will allow you to have peace of mind when you're away from your home and the power goes out. And usually you lose power when you have a big storm come through, and that's when you need the most protection. So that's why we have a battery backup system we can put in. It allows that system to run continuously for multiple days past that point.
You're pretty busy these days for lots of reasons, but one, in the housing market, people are choosing to stay home and fix things that they were otherwise maybe might not be paying attention to. So you're getting really busy with people.
Right, yes, we are getting a lot busier. People are home more because we're all working from home more. One of the things that we've noticed is a lot of people are noticing cracks in sheetrock, and that's a telltale sign that you have too much moisture in your crawl space. Cracks in the brick veneer on the outside as well. As they're walking around their house, they'll notice those. Windows that don't open correctly, doors that won't shut or ghost doors.
So if you're beginning to see those things, do you have to press the panic button, or can y'all come in and assess what's really urgent to attend to, and then over time kind of develop a plan?
Absolutely, we can do both. Is it a panic button situation? We believe it needs to get fixed as soon as possible. You don't want to get worse. We have found that if you put off a project like this, you will end up spending a lot more money over time, because it just compounds on itself, and you have more problems to fix later on. And get ahead of the problem right now, you can really stop a lot of issues.
You did mention that people are working from home, kids have been home from school. Did that trigger a lot of calls to you because people maybe were feeling like the air they were breathing wasn't as clean as it could be?
Yes, that actually did trigger a lot of calls. We had a very big uptick in appointments itself, which was good for everybody. We wanted to serve our customers, make sure they are breathing healthy air, that their homes are being fixed, and that's a healthy situation for the entire family.
Right. Okay, so I'm not in any way a construction expert. So when you talked about the cracks in the sheetrock and that kind of thing, some of that is just natural settling in a home, isn't it? Or do you have to always worry if you're seeing that cracked line?
So there is such thing as normal settling in a home. However, a home settles over time, all throughout its lifespan. What we're looking for is something called differential settlements, where the house starts to settle not at the same uniformity as the rest of it. Cracks above doorways and windows, that's something you definitely want to have looked at, because that means that your home is moving in some form or fashion, and definitely assess to make sure that there's not any more damage going on, like broken joists or any sagging beams or anything like that.
Okay, so in terms of getting in touch with you, when they call, do you come out as a complimentary visit to assess things?
Yes, so you can call our main line, and they'll set up an appointment, and one of our certified field inspectors will come out, and he will assess your house and diagnose what's going on. It is a free visit. We don't have, there's no obligation to purchase, but we will get out there as soon as possible, and we do quite a bit of appointments throughout the year. So most of our CFI see about 400 customers.
Okay. So here's the number for you to call. It's AFS Foundation and Waterproofing on Industrial Park in Soddy Daisy. Their phone number, write this down, 226-3546. You also can go online to afsrepair.com, and their motto, that old ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure.
Absolutely.
Nice to see you, Doug.
Nice to see you.
If you're